Hi, dear ones. Happy new moon in Libra. This year just keeps going right along. It's just amazing. Oh, but I wanted to pop on here and do a video to give some illumination to the astrological energies we're going through, as well as do a 3 card reading for all of you. My loving offering just to help you navigate these crazy times we are in. And I think this week has been a bit of a reprieve, or can be in the next few days, but then we're kind of heading into the grand finale as we race toward what is pretty much going to happen on the solstice. We have Jupiter and Saturn meeting up on degrees Aquarius, so that'll be pretty crazy. And I have a friend who actually, I think her Saturn is 0 degrees Aquarius, so she's having her perfect Saturn return on that day. It's going to be a special day, especially being on the solstice. It feels like this illumination that will be coming in, and December 21st kind of saying, all right guys, you made it through this crazy year. Oh, so anyway, I just want to send encouragement to you guys that we're going to make it and it's going to be okay. Keep holding each other up, keep reaching out, reaching out for yourself and reaching out to others too. This is so intense. I feel like it's so important to keep encouraging you to check up on your friends who have, mental struggles and who, need to be healthy in that area. And sometimes just a text or a phone call or, a little brief chat on Facebook can make all the difference for people right now. So just kind of knowing you're not alone. I think there's a real energy of feeling alone during this time. And I just want to encourage you, keep reaching out because we need to feel that connection. It's so hard with being isolated. So many of us are still not doing everything we used to. I know here, there's still things that just aren't open, and so it's difficult to access that connection and getting together and being in the energy of other people, but a text or a message can go a long way to making someone feel seen and feel, not so alone. So yes, this new moon is in Libra, and what's really crazy is that it is conjunct the degree. It's in Libra, but that squares the whole thing that happened in January. So I kind of feel it in my heart that it's like that whole big Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter conversion that's been happening throughout this year, and the energies and everything that brought us to these really, really challenging places we've been walking through, with so many issues. I won't even name them all. I mean, COVID is one of them, right? But I mean, there's so many layers to this. What I love is this is on that same degree and it's squaring where that all happened. And to me, it says it's challenging us to look in a new direction and to realize that there is light coming in. This is a new moon, a new beginning. And I feel like it is kind of that little bit of extra oomph to get us through, to help us to navigate these last few months, weeks that we have to go with these energies. And of course, for us in the US, for our election, which has all of us on tenterhooks, I think. So I love that feeling. It's like, okay, yeah, there was that, but now we have this illumination happening on that same degree. And I think that's really special. It's like, here's some light. Here's clarity for all you've been through. Here's insight. And I think there really is that energy of breakthrough this week. That's kind of what I see with that square. Almost this is like kind of shooting off and like, okay, we've been here. Here's the understanding, here's the clarity, not only for what we've been going through, but how we can go forward. And if you've had some aha moments in the last, week, that is exactly what this is about. If you haven't and you need a breakthrough, I think you can set the intention with this new moon today to grab that energy and say, yes, I want clarity. I want a breakthrough. I want to feel some release in this because it has been so intense. That energy is available for you. A couple of things that are happening. We've had Mercury go retrograde. Obviously, these are always big newses, right? Most people know about Mercury retrograde, even if they're not real into astrology. But Mercury retrograde this year started on Tuesday, so a few days ago. It's going to be in Scorpio, so that is a pretty kind of a deep energy, and it's an energy of bringing things to the surface. So this retrograde is really going to be about plumbing those dark places, those spaces that we don't always want to look at. And if you feel like over the next few weeks, things with relationships that you have kind of like, discussions coming out of the blue of like really deep conversations that you weren't anticipating, sometimes really difficult, this can be an energy of going, hey, this isn't working out with this other person and I need to go another direction. It can be that kind of energy, but it can also just be an energy of deepening your relationship with someone you're really close to, allowing you to have those deep discussions and those conversations that can be really, really meaningful and really help you to come to a new level or a new understanding of that person you care about so much. So, Mercury retrogrades get a bad rap, but I think they can actually be really, really beautiful because they're a time when we can slow down and we're not just trucking on forward with things. We're actually like sitting there and like we're reflective and we're receptive. I really see that as we interact with the people in our lives. If we can kind of open our hearts to being receptive, like what are they really saying? Like what are the energies coming through beyond what their words are saying to me? I think new layers and understanding and just beautiful, beautiful holding of space can happen, both for ourselves and the people we love so much. So I would just offer to you, stay in that space, allow those deeper things to come up. Everything comes up to be healed, to help us to move forward with greater empowerment, greater understanding of ourselves, greater understanding of those we love and care about, and even those we don't, I think there's that too with Scorpio. There can be some difficult, things that we come to the understanding of. And knowledge is power. Knowledge helps us to understand and to move forward with clarity. So just allowing, again, that receptive quality of yourself to not charge ahead in these next 3 weeks, but to almost move more by feeling. And Scorpio is a very deeply feeling sign. I honestly think Scorpio, probably Pisces too, but can be the most deeply feeling. I have several Scorpio friends and oh my word, they feel things so profoundly. So, allowing yourself to feel and kind of navigate more by your feeling than your logic over the next couple weeks. So that would be my advice. And of course, there's always the Mercury retrograde advice, like, back up things, make sure you're sending the text to the right person. I'll just give those little tiny, tiny warnings, because that can happen during Mercury retrograde. You send off the email, you're like, I wasn't supposed to go that direction. So just double checking before you send, sign, or deliver anything, just to make sure it's going where you want it to go. Because Mercury can be a little tricky like that during his retrograde. So, all right, today I'd like to do a drawing for you from the Light Seers Tarot. Here's the box if you want to look at it. This is such a great deck. I just find such deep layers of meaning and understanding. And Chris herself, who created the deck, Chris Ann Donnelly, she believes there's light codes woven into it. And I was like, what are light codes? And it's kind of like those little synchronicities, those signs, those things that have that meaning, So if one of the images comes up and you're like, I've been seeing that before, or maybe after this reading, you end up seeing something similar, just take note of that. So, we got a card coming out. Oh my goodness. So we got the Ten of Swords that just came out. If you followed my channel for any length of time, I always draw 3 cards, and I think I will continue in that vein today. Pick 1, 2, or 3. Pick 1 and 2, pick 2 and 3. You can pick whatever you want. Use it as an exercise for your intuition. And just trust that you'll be guided to the card you need. So we'll go ahead and let this be card number 1. If you get to the end of the reading and everything resonates, take it. It's meant to be yours. This is not like you could only choose one card. So this card coming up to me says that for some of you, you are kind of at rock bottom. You feel so depleted right now, and you feel like you can't go on. There's some burnout here. Maybe a lot of burnout. A feeling of like putting one foot in front of the other is really hard work right now. And the universe wants to encourage you. This is the beginning of something new. This card is hard. This card is so hard. But what I love is that it's a 10 energy, and 10 is the end of a cycle. So yes, what you're going through right now is really, really difficult. And I want to acknowledge that. Like what you've been walking through over the last weeks, months, maybe even this entire year, it has been so hard. And you have come to a point in the last week where you're like, I can't do it. I'm so burned out. I'm so exhausted. And the universe is saying, can you give one more step, one more push, because you're almost there and you're about to have some major clarity. This moon is about a new cycle beginning for you and some ease coming in. You're going to start feeling like things get a little easier, and it's not going to be like tomorrow, everything's easy peasy and no problems and you're great. It's not going to be quite like that, but it's going to be this little bit of space opening up for you and a little more ease, and the next day a little more and a little more, until a month from now you look back and you're like, I am feeling lighter. Things are easier. And I'm not as burned out. I feel like I can do this again. So have hope. The universe is saying, this card flew out for those of you that chose number 1 or feel number 1 viscerally, that there is hope and things are about to shift. All right, let's look for card number 2 here. All right. Card number 2 is Page of Swords. I love this card on this deck. So for those of you who picked card 2, there may be something you've been thinking of pursuing, like a class or just some new understanding or a book you've been wanting to read. The universe is saying, go do it. Grab that book, whether at the library or go ahead and buy it off of Amazon. You need something that's in this book or in this class that you've been kind of considering. And if you feel like, well, I haven't been considering anything like that, then there's a message that in the next week or two to really be aware of something that catches your interest. The Page of Swords is about curiosity, something that she wants to understand. In fact, she could even come up as a detective energy or a journalist or someone who's, researching. She comes up around those energies. It's like there's something you need to know, and you're only going to learn if you follow your curiosity. So if you're not feeling that way today, I would just encourage you to pay attention to your curiosity over the next week and start looking at what's making you curious and follow that. And I think it's going to lead you to a very important piece of information that you need for the next step on your path. So, all right, let's do card number 3 here. I love the theme of yellow so far on these cards. Look at this. A lot of sunshine coming into our paths, folks. That's what I feel like. This moon tomorrow is an illumination, and it's on that same point. I think it's at degree 23 for those of you who know astrology, and the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in January was degree 22. So very, very close. Conjunct as far as we consider it with, astrology. So it does. It feels like this light coming in, So, ooh, okay, that guy flipped. Ooh, I love this card. So for those of you who drew card 3 or picked card 3, this is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is about needing to connect with people right now, needing to be in that physical space. And, we're all being so leery, we're being careful. Some of us still have to, like I have my son with special needs, I have to still be very careful, who he's in contact with. But I've been feeling lately that he's actually depressed. He needs to be with his family. He needs to be with the people that love him. And I've been starting to loosen up I've been so careful all year, and I've been starting to go, he needs to see his grandparents. He needs to be with his uncles and his cousins. So I've been starting to kind of loosen up a little bit because I feel like he needs that. And I feel like for those of you who pick this card, there's a real message that you need connection right now. And it may be more with the family. There's a little glare on that card. Sorry. It may be a connection with the family of your heart. It may not be your, actual physical family. It might be the family of your heart. But if there's someone you've been really desiring to see, or you've had an offer to get together with someone and you're like, I really want to do this. I want to be in physical space with someone and have that connection, that love. I would offer to you to go for it, to do it. The cards are saying yes. Your soul actually needs that connection right now. It's way more than just, the physical, being careful. And there's also something with a dog for someone. I don't know if it's getting a dog or your dog and the connection between you is so important right now. And that can feed your soul in a big way. So this is a card of support. It's a card of those who have come before us supporting us, those who are in our lives right now supporting us. If you believe in angels and spirit guides, those supporting us, there's so much love coming through in this card. So just feel that, revel in it, find the ways you can connect and honor that because you need it right now. So again, the yellow theme just continued, folks. We have so much yellow in these cards. So the light is coming through. Things are shifting for us. And I feel like we still got a few hard weeks to get through this year, but I feel like something's coalescing and there's more insight and there's more clarity. And like I said, breakthrough and aha moments. So anyway, so much love, dear ones. I'm so thankful for every single one of you that watches these videos. Thank you so much for every like, share, and comment. I appreciate them greatly. It means so much to me. And I am looking forward to seeing you soon in the next video. Take good care.